Let's give it a penalty. Hello again everyone, and welcome along to the Team on Tour's third game of the season. Now today I've made my way down to Carabanchel, which is a district in the southwest of Madrid. It's actually the biggest district in the city in terms of population. There's around 250,000 people who live here, and it's a place that had a prominent role in the Spanish Civil War, which took place between 1936 and 1939. This was an area that was really badly affected, with loads of casualties towards the start of the war. So today's game is between Carabanchel and Pozuelo, and this is actually a pretty big occasion for the home team, as this is their first home game since returning to the Tercera División after 4 seasons away. Now Carabanchel is actually one of Madrid's most historic clubs. It was founded in 1916, which means that only Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid are actually older. Now despite their 100+ years, I think it's probably fair to say their achievements have been fairly modest. They've traditionally been a Tercera team in the different forms of the Tercera División, apart from a couple of seasons in the Segunda B in the 1990s, although since the turn of the millennium they've actually spent most of their time in the Preferente, which is a division below. This is actually only their 6th season in the Tercera since 2000. So this is Carabanchel's home ground, the Estadio de la Mina, which roughly translates to the mine stadium, or well, directly translates to the mine stadium. That's coal mine, not yours and mine. The walk here might not be the most picturesque, but this is apparently the oldest existing ground in Madrid. So as I mentioned before, the club was founded in 1916 and the ground was first opened in 1916, and it remained unchanged until 2010, at which point it was renovated and this lovely artificial pitch with the carpet burns and all was put in. Now this is the most entertaining warm-up I think I've seen in quite a while, as we've got a group of kids over on the far side there that are shouting at the visiting goalkeeper that he's got a nice hair and a nice arse, which is a bit bizarre. First thing I was told when I arrived was, you're going to love it here. There's loads of people, there's loads of fans, there's a great atmosphere. I'm not really seeing it yet. Well, maybe I was wrong. Like, the 7 guys over there are making a fair bit of noise. So this is the second round of fixtures. Carabanchel started with a 1-0 away victory against San Agustín de Guadalix last weekend. Pozuelo have actually been one of the stronger teams in this league in the last few years. They've challenged for the playoffs quite a few times, and they've made it in a couple of times as well, but they started with a home defeat against Liga's B team. 3-1 they lost. Well, Pozuelo started on top, but we've had a flurry of corners for Carabanchel. Can they make them count? Not this one either. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, so it really annoys me to see the left back wearing number 2 and the right back's wearing number 3. What's going on there? Now luckily they've allowed me to come around this side of the pitch, which is good, because otherwise I would have just been showing you views of these houses, which, let's be honest, are nothing to write home about. They also have cut holes in this netting, which is very convenient. It's almost as if they knew I was coming. So lovely hosts. Might get a touch on this one. Oh, okay. Just continuing with the theme of the season so far, managed to miss the opening goal. Well, there's a lovely ball played into the box. Brilliant first touch. Smashed it underneath the goalkeeper, and Pozuelo are underway. Carabanchel are playing with fire at the moment. Since the first goal, there's another slack pass They're really lucky to get away with one there. Goalkeeper came out to rescue the situation. Just since most of the action is taking place up at this end, and I've got my sun cream on. Oh, that was a near thing. Oh, lovely touch. Oh, you got to pass it though. Got to pass it. Brilliant touch to get down out of the sky there. Okay, so 1-0 to Pozuelo at half time, and I think that's probably just about a fair score on the balance of play. It was a pretty even start, but I think the visitors will definitely come into the ascendancy as the half is worn on. And as I mentioned before, they've been one of the better teams in division in the last few years, and they've started to show it a little bit. I think they've got slightly more ability on the ball. Carabanchel though have got some serious pace going forward, and I think there's definitely potential for them to get in behind the Pozuelo defence. They've been playing quite a high back line, but Carabanchel haven't really been able to find the final pass to get the runners in on goal. So yeah, we'll see if that can change in the second half. Really nice little ground, as I mentioned at the start. This is the oldest existing ground in Madrid. You wouldn't really be able to tell nowadays, obviously it's been redeveloped. But yeah, special tribute as well to the Carabanchel fans down on the left hand side of the stand. Have not stopped singing throughout the first half, so let's see if their team can give them something to shout about in the second half. So this is outside the ground. Basically the dressing rooms are in here, and what a cracking little setup they've got here, with a bar which is just at the back there, and a little terrace and everything. Look at this, absolutely unbelievable. It's amazing how, as this game is going on, Pozuelo have just been able to pick holes in the Carabanchel defence. There's a couple of times there's just been a massive gap right in the middle of the defence, and I've got a feeling sooner or later that's going to cost them another goal. That was the hole I was talking about in the middle of the defence, but it was ruled out for offside. Skating on thin ice here, Carabanchel. There's more going on off the pitch than on the pitch at the moment, but that's okay. Right, so something just for you to keep in mind while you're watching these Tercera División videos and thinking that they're a million miles away from the likes of La Liga. There are actually no fewer than 8 La Liga teams who are playing at this level in the last 32 years. So you had Eibar in 1986, Leganés, Levante and Getafe in 1987, Alavés in 1990, Villarreal, who were in the Champions League a few years ago, they were playing at this level in 1991, and the two most recent ones are Huesca in 2004 and Girona in 2007. So, you know, in 10, 15 or 20 years time, when Carabanchel or Pozuelo are playing in La Liga, just remember where you saw them first. Oh, you're in. Well, that was an utter waste. They've literally not threatened a goal in the whole of the second half. So they really need to make the most of these kind of chances.
Segundo cambio en el Real Club Deportivo Carabanchel. Se retira con el número 8. Sale con el número 12.
Oh, save keeper. Biggest cheer of the day so far. And the goalkeeper's nickname seems to be Pulpo Molina. Pulpo meaning octopus, and you can see why with that kind of save. Oh, it might be an action again though. Oh, he's given a penalty. Penalty for Carabanchel. And I think it was the only way they really looked as if they might get a goal. Oh, buried it right in the bottom corner. So I got really stiff legs after playing football yesterday, so there's no way I was making it around there in time. A brilliant finish. I mentioned earlier that the left back for Carabanchel was wearing number 2, and he's the guy that's instigated this fight back. He went on an absolutely brilliant drive and run from left back to win the penalty. And he's just done exactly the same, and here he goes again. Overrun at that time. You're clean through, you're clean through. He's got the pace. Oh, it's another penalty, is it? Oh, he's booked him for diving. Well, there definitely looked like there was contact there. Managers can't believe either. I think you could even hear it. I think he clipped his heel, or at least part of his leg anyway. So last week I built up a last gasp free kick just like this one. This one's maybe not quite as late. And it's equally as poor. Oh, it's a teasing ball. Oh, he did well to get that out of there. That was an awkward height. Okay, so I think Carabanchel will be pretty delighted with a point. After 70 minutes, there's no way in hell like they were going to get anything out of this game. Pozuelo were totally controlling the play. They were, as I mentioned before, they were picking holes in the Carabanchel defence, and it looked like they were just on easy street. And then suddenly out of nowhere, the Carabanchel left back, number 2 that I mentioned before, just decided to take things into his own hands, and he just made storming run forward after storming run forward. It looked like Alan Hutton back in 2007. So yeah, he was basically responsible for winning the penalty, and he kind of drove the team forward towards the end of the game, and they actually looked more likely to score a winning goal towards the end. Although having said that, I do think Pozuelo should have had a penalty. I'll need to watch it back again. I've got it on camera. But I think they were a bit hard done by there. Right, as always, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I think you probably all know the drill by now, but make sure you subscribe on YouTube and get following on social media, on Facebook, Twitter and on Instagram. Thanks so much as well for the response to the video from last week, especially given that it was probably between 2 teams that a lot of you have never heard of before. So really delighted by the number of nice comments and new subscribers that I got. In any case, I'll see you guys again next week.